everybody, and welcome back to my channel Biology with Gracie. Today's video is going to be the ultimate guide to cover letters. So this is my second video in this series, How to Get a Job. If you haven't seen my first video on the ultimate guide to CVs, then I will leave a link in the description down below. You can check that one out. Please let me know if you are enjoying these videos. You can do this by giving this video a big thumbs up and subscribing down below. You could also leave a comment, that would be lovely to see. But without further ado, let's get straight into the video. So the first part of your cover letter is going to be your name and your contact details. So these are going to go in the top right of the cover letter. And so you want to make sure that you include your full name, your address, your email address, and your phone number. Next up, we've got the date. So this is going to again go in the top right, and it's going to be just below your contact details. So just make sure that there's a space in between those contact details and the date. So next up we have the company details. So these are going to be on the left hand side of your cover letter, below your contact details and the date, as you can see here. So you want to make sure that you're including the name of the company you're applying for and the address. So now we're going to start with the actual letter. So we begin with a dear line, which is located here. So it is below the company address. And again, just like with our contact details and our date, you want to make sure that you leave a few lines and a little gap between the company address and the dear line. So most of the time people put dear sir or madam for their letter. There's usually not a specific person that the company tells you to address your cover letter to. However, if they do give you a person to address it to, then you can put in their name, but make sure you put it in formally, so using Mr, Mrs, Miss appropriately. So after your dear line, we start with our opening paragraph. So this is located just below, as you can see here. So first, you're basically going to state the role that you're applying for and the company that the role is with. So as an example, you may say, I'm writing to apply for the consultancy placement role with Leon Consulting Bolton. You then want to go on to explain why you're interested in that role. So you may say, for this example, I have a keen interest in scientific consultancy and business, and maybe expand on that a little bit. And then you want to give a positive about you. So for example, you could say, I achieved a first in my first year exams, and this is something that I'm determined to maintain, so a standard I'm determined to maintain. So basically the opening paragraph is just stating the role you're applying for, why you're applying, and an initial statement as to why they should consider you. So after your initial introduction paragraph, you then want to talk about why you are the best candidate for the role and why the company should hire you. So this is located here, as you can see, just below the introduction paragraph. And as I said, this is about why you are the best candidate. And so you want to explain this in around 10 to 15 lines. And this can be between 1 and 2 paragraphs, depending on how much you want to say. I think it's important to mention that within your cover letter, you want to obviously be stating those really key experiences and those key skills, but you want to make sure that you're being really concise and not just waffling on, because otherwise it just won't get read. So you can approach this in 2 different ways. So one way is starting by stating the skills that you have, and then talking about the experiences, so giving that evidence of these skills. So whether that's you've gained them through a job or a university module or an achievement, a hobby, etc. So you can do it that way round. Or what I usually do, just personal preference wise, is start with the evidence. So start with the experience and then explain the skills I've learned from that. So basically you want to make sure that you're applying these experiences and these skills to the role and to the role requirements. So if the role wants you to show teamwork. You may talk about how you've been part of a swimming team, or you worked in a team when you worked at a cafe part-time. So you want to be picking out those really key experiences that apply to those roles, and also talking about those skills that you'll need in this new role you're applying for. Finally, your last paragraph is going to be explaining why you want that role and why you want to work for that company. So this is located just here, right at the end, and I've put company, role and you because to summarise this paragraph, that's basically what you're going to be talking about. So I would start with a statement talking about why you want to work in that specific industry that the company is in, and pick out something that you like that the company does, and then state that would be rewarding or exciting for you. So as an example here, you could say something along the lines of the opportunity to work in, and then name the industry or area, so work in drug development for, and then state a positive but also an accurate comment about the company. So to work in drug development for a leading global pharmaceutical agency. Obviously, if your company aren't a leading global agency, then don't state that. Otherwise, they're going to see that you haven't done your research and you're stating things about the company that aren't true. So at this point, I would really recommend going on the company website and having a look at what they do, really research into their role. So a lot of the time they'll have on their about page sort of a summary, which will include useful statements you can use in your cover letter, like leading global pharmaceutical agency, or I don't know, nationwide company, beneficial to many, or something, you know what I mean, something along those lines that you can use. But yeah, so make sure it's accurate. So the best way to do that, I think, could definitely be picking that out directly from the website. So then you want to go on to talk about a positive role or duty that the company carries out. So as an example here, I've put that they develop drugs to cure terminal illnesses, and so overall this opportunity should really be rewarding and exciting. So I'll just sort of read through it again so it's not disjointed. So the opportunity to work in drug development for a leading global pharmaceutical agency that develops drugs to cure terminal illnesses would be rewarding. So I think that's a really good summary statement to start your concluding paragraph with, as it really shows that you've done your research about the company, and it states specifically why you want to work for them and why you think it's a really good opportunity for you. So then after that, you want to write a couple of sentences summarising your passions and your interests in relation to the company and the role, and then pick out some company values that you really like, and then summarise why you'd be an asset to the company and why you are ideal for that role. So in essence, this paragraph is a conclusion, and it's talking about in terms, you've got all these skills, you've got all these previous experiences, so alongside with that and who you are as a person, why should they choose you? We then come to the final lines of our cover letter, as you can see here. So you want to start by basically saying that you've attached your CV, so please find attached my CV, and then express your gratitude, so thank you in advance for your consideration. Just a polite way to end the letter essentially. So then just put kind regards and then your full name, and then you are done. So I've just put an example cover letter here. I obviously haven't filled in the paragraphs because it entirely depends on what role you're applying for in terms of what you actually want to say. But I've just sort of laid out where the paragraphs lie and given the example sort of starter sentences that you could choose. So just overall some key points. So make sure that you if you are using the sort of same format cover letter, make sure that you change the address of the different companies you apply to. Make sure that you're adapting the skills and experiences you put into your cover letter for the different roles, just like you do for your CV. If you haven't seen my video on CVs, I will link that in the description below, and you may find that really useful to have a look at as well. You then want to make sure that your cover letter is only a page long. It really doesn't need to be any longer than that. And then remember to change the date again if you're writing a new cover letter, and remember to attach your CV to the email you're sending or to the application you're sending off. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please subscribe down below if you have enjoyed it. We are so close to 400 subscribers. It honestly means the world to me, every single one. So I would really appreciate that if you could subscribe. Also, make sure to leave a comment. Let me know if you're currently applying for any jobs or if you have any questions. And make sure to give this video a big thumbs up if you have enjoyed it, and share it with anyone else who you think would find this useful. Make sure to head over to my Instagram account at Biology with Gracie and give me a follow there. I post lots of helpful information alongside these videos. And again, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye guys.